because all of us can have different perspectives on what mentor really means. So let's go to where it came from. It came from the Greek poem or play by Homer. And the person, it was a person, his name was Mentor. He was an aged man who was left in charge of Odysseus' home while Odysseus was away at the Troy Wars. And this is Greek mythology. So he was an aged man. He was the overseer of Odysseus' house, over his wife, over his children, etc., etc. So really, the word came from that play. Now, I've been saved for 43 years. I remember looking up the word mentor in the Webster Dictionary 20 years ago. Mentor was not in the dictionary. Mentor is a new word for the 21st century. And so it came from the noun, the person by the name of mentor. So coming from that meaning, it means an older person or an experienced person that you trust to teach you in a certain area of your life. Now, what happens in history is we take a word and it morphs into different meanings depending on the culture and the mindset of the society. So, by me coming from the age that I came from, the word did not exist other than in the play. So understanding that it came from that particular play and that it was an aged gentleman, we've got all kinds of dictionaries that break it down. But when you leave out the word experience or age, you leave out a very important aspect of the word mentor.
Okay.
I'm enjoying the I feel a part of y'all. I'm sitting up here, but I feel a part of y'all. I just, I think that when we talk about mentoring, it's important for, well, let me start here. In any relationship, it is important for boundaries and parameters to be set, because when you cross boundaries, or if there are no boundaries set, then it is easy to fall into a misuse or an abuse of the relationship. Right. Lines will get crossed, expectations, false expectations will develop, and you set yourself up for a hurt or disappointment or a fallout or a broken relationship because there were no clearly defined parameters, no clearly defined boundaries. And with that said, the same is to be said with a mentor-mentee relationship. It's almost as a parent and a child in that the lines have to be clearly defined, that this relationship is to navigate or guide or show you where you're going, as well as speaking it, but also in just following in the footsteps, as well as seeing the path that I take and understanding my journey and then being able to apply that to your own life. And if those boundaries are not kept, then it'll morph into some disfiguration of friendship mixed with sisterhood, mixed with sometimes I honor you, other times I've seen so much of your nakedness that now I can't really respect, what you say or where you are. If those lines are not clearly defined, and I don't want to take up too much time, but I also do think that as being a mentor, it is important to share with whomever you're mentoring some of your pitfalls, some of your shortcomings, because it's important for, and I'm a poster child for the process. I always say that I'm a poster child for the process. Some people have arrived, they're wonderful, they're great, and two thumbs up for you. For me, I am in a constant state of going through the process. So anyone that I mentor has to understand what that looks like. That sometimes you're going to be on the mountaintop when you're preaching, and when you get in the car, you come down, and it's insecurities, and it's depression, and it's this and that, and illness, and this, that the burdens that you feel after you leave the pulpit. You need to understand that process, that there's nothing wrong with you, that is a spiritual precedent, that is a process that you go through once God has used you. So I do believe that the mentor has to allow the person that they're mentoring to see that, but you cannot become so common that you lose the respect levels.
Right.
That you lose the respect levels. And so, so it just, on the